Would you please join me in thanking Bond alumnus, Pipe Sergeant Nick Tompkins. Distinguished guests, graduands, your families and your friends, Bond University colleagues, welcome to this ceremony for the conferring of degrees in the Bond Business School and in the Faculty of Law. It's my pleasant duty now to introduce Bond's Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Brailsford.
Well, good morning, everyone. Graduation ceremonies are always a magnificent occasion, and once again the Gold Coast has put on a rather perfect day. Although I must say, for those in the audience, do spare a thought for us who have to wear these gowns, which are generally manufactured to survive the bitter winters of the Northern Hemisphere. I first of all acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet here today, and I pay my respects to elders past and present, and I do so in the spirit of reconciliation and on your behalf. I acknowledge the University's 8th Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabelle Bennett, and her husband, who joins us in the academic procession, Dr. David Bennett. There are a number of special guests I would like to welcome. First, our guest speaker, the occasional speaker, and honorary graduand this morning, Mr. Basil Sellers. Basil is joined by his wife Claire, and indeed there are several members of the Sellers family who have travelled to be with us on this great occasion, so welcome them. I see Dr. Sahel Abedian and his wife, Miss Anne Jamison Abedian, has joined us. Sahel is a very strong supporter and a long-term supporter of the university. Indeed, he is patron of the Abedian School of Architecture. The Chancellor of Business Breakthrough University in Japan, Dr. Kenichi Ome, is with us, as indeed his colleague, Honorary Professor Sono Katanaga. Members of the company, Miss Peter Fielding, Mr. Kerry Watson, and Mr. Trevor Dietz. Trustee, Dr. Peter Heiner, and his wife, Dr. Debbie Luxton. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very proud parents, I imagine, and very proud grandparents, and certainly our graduands, I welcome you all to this particularly auspicious and special occasion. By its nature, Bond University is a university that from day one sought to be different, we sought to be diverse, and we embraced the global world in which we live. And around you, you can see the flags from the countries from which our students originate. And those flags now number over 90. And we're very proud of the fact that we were international on day one. And despite the current trends in geopolitics, where nations increasingly close their borders and their boundaries, we continue to open up personal borders and increase global aspirations amongst our graduates. You can follow the proceedings this morning in the program, which is on your seats, as we move through to the presentation of individual awards. Every student, every graduand, soon to be graduate, will have their moment in the sun up here, and I trust that you respect and acknowledge every single one of those students for their individual and collective achievements. As I said earlier, graduation ceremony is always a very special occasion. I trust you enjoy what we have in front of you and you enjoy the rest of the day. It's now my very great pleasure to launch formalities with the presentation of a candidate for the award of Doctor of the University, honoris causa. Doctor of the University is the highest award the university can bestow on any individual. I ask the Chancellor and the awardee to please rise and to move to the centre of the stage. Chancellor, I present to you Basil Alfred Sellers for the award of Doctor of the University honoris causa. Mr. Sellers was born in Balsar, India, attended primary school there and emigrated with his parents to Adelaide in 1948. He attended King's College in Adelaide and was a keen sportsman, being captain of the first cricket team and vice-captain of the tennis team. His prowess on the sporting field was complemented by his service to the school as a prefect and house captain. On leaving school, he joined the State Bank of South Australia as a junior clerk. Shortly afterwards, he joined a stockbroking firm where he worked until he was called up for national service. After his period of serving his country, he returned to stockbroking and then began his own business, forming an independent oil company to sell discounted gasoline, moving to the city of Melbourne. After selling that business, he subsequently purchased a real estate agency and added to his business interests by acquiring a building company back in South Australia. He next acquired a textile business that was in financial difficulty and was almost facing closure, but he turned that business around, and for many in the audience, you'll know that business as National Textiles, and Mr. Basil Sellers became that company's chief executive. Success continued to follow Mr. Sellers, and that company became the largest textile business in Australia, and at the time controlled iconic brands. Many of you will recognise these: Speedo, King G and others. His business interests took him to London, and after his move to London he purchased a controlling interest in Gestetner plc, becoming its chairman and chief executive. Ultimately, Gestetner was sold to a Japanese company, Ryco. And on anyone's measure, this stellar business career has demonstrated a well-developed sense of business acumen and sheer hard work. But not one to rest on his laurels. Since 1993, Mr. Sellers formed the Sellers Group, becoming its chairman, and that group is an investment company with extensive private investments, but importantly, it gave him the opportunity to concentrate his philanthropic activities. Chancellor, one of the criteria for the award of Doctor of the University degrees, a candidate for the award must have made an outstanding contribution to society in general. And there can be no doubt that Basil Alfred Sellers fulfills that requirement. He has always been a keen sportsman, but his interest in sport has extended to his participation in community activities and philanthropic endeavours. He has founded or contributed to a diverse range of causes that support athletes across a number of sporting codes, from Australian football, cricket, Respite Centre for Elite Athletes from the Australian Institute of Sport, the McGrath Foundation, the Sir Roden Lady Cutler Foundation, Pick Me Up Wheelchair Service, the Steve Waugh Foundation, the Chapel Foundation that seeks to help young homeless Australians, and he is patron of the LBW Trust. And that trust provides education to disadvantaged students in low-income cricket-playing nations. And indeed, Basil's philanthropic support has indeed extended to, I believe, 5 members of the current Test-playing 11 in the recent Ashes series. His philanthropic activities also extend to art. He's commissioned 10 sculptures of cricket, rugby union, rugby league, soccer and Australian football greats to be installed at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He's commissioned a further 8 sculptures, most of which have been erected now around the newly reformed Adelaide Oval. He has founded or contributed to the following artistic philanthropic activities: the Basil Sellers Art Prize, in association with the Potter Museum of Art in Melbourne, the National Sports Museum Basil Sellers Creative Arts Fellowship, and the Basil Sellers Arts Prize in Moruya that encourages local artists in New South Wales. But his generosity also extends internationally through the charity that he founded in his birthplace in Balsar, India. He has for over 20 years now funded a charity that educates disadvantaged girls, including many from the slums. And those girls are now successfully placed in paid employment. A great credit. This initiative now trains over 1,000 girls per year. In 2003, he was made a member of the Order of Australia for service to the community and as a philanthropist through his donations. This university does not give out its highest honour easily or frequently. Today, Mr. Sellers will be just the 23rd recipient. The 23rd recipient. And among those who have received the award previously include the late Kerry Packer, Ms. Imelda Roche, the Honourable John Howard, the Honourable Justice Michael Kirby, a gentleman in the audience who I've mentioned before, Dr. Sahel Abedian, and Ms. Georgina Reinhardt. So this is an exclusive award, an exclusive club indeed. Chancellor, I now ask that you formally confer the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa on Basil Alfred Sellers. I now invite the most recent graduate of Bond University, Dr. Sellers, to provide the occasional address.
Thank you for that introduction. I'd like to do this now. The Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabel Bennett, and the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Tim Brailsford, the Deans and academic faculty members, distinguished guests, proud parents and family all out there, and of course, all you graduates. I would like to thank you first to Bond for giving me this honorary doctorate. When it was first asked me to accept it, I must admit I was extremely reluctant, but very good advice was given to me by the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor, John Lever, who is out there now, and ex-Chancellor Imelda Roche. They gave me some good advice and persuaded me to accept. Now I'm really glad that I have accepted, and I feel very humble and proud to be given this honour by the Bond University. Thank you very much indeed. First, I'd like to congratulate all the parents that are here today to support the graduates. I guess you always knew that your boys and girls were very, very, very smart, but now when you see them get their degrees, you'll know that they really are, and you can prove it. I guess that a lot of you have had to give a lot of support to send your children to the university, and they've used a lot of resources. It cost you quite some money. But I hope that now you can feel that it has all been worthwhile, and you can take pride in what you've been able to make happen. Well done. Now, graduates, just congratulations. You've worked very hard to get to this point, and you should be really happy with the result and get your degrees today. Now, you will be leaving, well, most of you, I guess, will be actually going out into the world, into the real world, to try and get a job and start all your careers. Now, I started mine, of course, many, many years ago, but actually the journey from my career and how I started to yours, the way you started, I can tell you, it's like chalk and cheese. There's nothing like it. So I'll try to explain why. As Tim said, I was born in India in a small railway town 125 miles north of Bombay. It was a colony that did various railway duties, and my father was a bridge inspector. So we were all, most of us were Anglo-Indians, and that meant that, in fact, back in the 1820s, 1830s, when India's railways were being built by the British, that a lot of British engineers and other workers came out to India, and inevitably, I guess, some married some Indian women and stayed on. And we Anglo-Indians are the result of those liaisons. Now, the colony did have a little school, which was started at the 4-year-old years as the first entries, but it only really had one teacher whose task was pretty tough. We had to teach all the children lots of different subjects. We were aided sometimes by one or two other people, but basically that was it. Now, although the class sizes were pretty small, we didn't get a lot of individual attentions. So what we lacked in formal education, however, was completely balanced by sport. There were badminton courts, tennis courts, but cricket actually dominated everything. We played, little kids that we were, played every day we could. The young village boys, well, they had no kit and no bats and gloves or anything like that. The wicket was actually a kerosene tin, rather a battered one. But we played with a tennis ball whose fur had always been taken off, so that it was bounced very, very unpredictably, moved around in the air, and was pretty hard to hit. This was good education and great training, certainly stood me in good stead in the years to come, because it was really good for hand-eye coordination. Now, the local school didn't go any further than the early stages of education. So for high school, I was actually sent as a boarder at the tender age of 10 to Bombay, to the Cathedral High School in Bombay, where I suppose fondly believed that my real education would actually commence. Unfortunately, it did not work out quite that way. Almost from the time that I went to Bombay, I contracted malaria, really rather badly. I was in and out of hospital a lot, and so my education suffered again. Well, my parents were told, now the doctors, that I had to be sent to a dry climate, hot dry climate, as soon as possible. Now, luckily for me, this was when India was getting independence, which they got in August 1947, and it was decision time for us Anglo-Indians. Staying in India was not an option. It was going to be India for the Indians, so we had to leave. Luckily for us, the British offered us citizenship to England, where most of our families and the vast majority of the people, in fact, went. Mum was different, though. Resourceful woman that she was, she decided to open her atlas, looked there and found that the hottest country and the hottest continent in the entire world was Australia. The hottest state and the hottest continent in the world was South Australia. And the Adelaide city was the driest city, capital city in the country. Now, that is why I'll get on that my young brother, my brother Rex, and my mother arrived in Adelaide on the SS Strathhead in February 1948. I was enrolled in King's College, which I look back on now wasn't the best thing that ever happened to me. I'd only been in school for a few days when the cricket master, the sports master in charge of cricket, asked me if I played any cricket, and I said, yes, I play a bit. And he said, well, come out to the nets after school and let me have a look at it. So I did. I found myself in the first 11 that very first weekend. So that was the start of my career, but at the age of 15, they made me captain of the first 11. I was rather young, and most of the players were older than me. Now, King's College was the sort of college that really wanted to give out well-rounded children, and they made it quite difficult, but I think necessary. For example, the captain of the first that I was, in fact, had to do everything to do with cricket. That meant getting the kit ready, taking it to the game, getting it all filled up, brought it all back again. In those days, we used to do it by tram. There was no cars for us, and this enjoyed quite a lot of logistical work. So the ability to organise those kids to be able to take this there and back again fell on the captain of the first 11. On top of that, actually being captain of a cricket team was a pretty responsible job. And when you actually walk out onto the field with 10 guys behind you, then you're really on your own. No sports master can come out there and give you a hand. He's sitting up in the grandstand. It's your job is to look after your teammates and hopefully win. Now, having received my school certificate, I left school at the age of 16 and went to work in the State Bank of South Australia. At this point, graduates, you're about to go out and try and do the same, or many of you are going to be doing that. Armed with your degree and all the knowledge you receive from this great university, you'll soon have one foot on the ladder in the real world. Now, how exciting that must be for you. Well, perhaps a bit scary as well. I was lucky that straight after the World War II, jobs were very easy to get. So intermediate certificate was enough to get you a job, as it did for me at the age of 16. Not so for you. It's much more difficult nowadays to get jobs, unless you have a degree, which you are about to get. As I said, my first job was in the State Bank of South Australia, but after doing my national service at the age of 18 in the Air Force, which I tell you what was great fun, I joined a share broking firm. Now, I love that work. You're right in the middle of all the action, buying and selling shares, raising money for companies and understanding how they worked, and that was a major influence on me. By the time I was 23, I was appointed the office manager, which really was responsible for all of the back office. Now, this had its challenges, as nearly all my staff were older than me. In addition, there were women as well. Now, growing up in a male-dominated, sports-mad family with no sisters, I was at a severe disadvantage. I knew girls were different. I didn't know they were that different. They talk about lifelong learning, which is something I'm sure all you've been told about. Now, this was a steep start in lifelong learning. And if you ask my wife, she'll tell you I haven't learned a hell of a lot anyway. But let's pause here, because all the new graduates here with 20, 22, 23-year-olds are about to go in the real world. And I had accumulated knowledge by learning on the job, which is quite different. And I was looking forward to success. So from this point, our interests are aligned. What I had learned in my career, I believe, could be of interest to you now, and I hope will be useful to you in coping with the inevitable disappointments and difficulties you will certainly encounter. And remember, there are many universities in Australia, and they're churning out lots of graduates every year. I'm reliably informed that in this year there will be 330,000 new graduates coming out from the universities. Our graduates, that's a hell of a lot of competition. But you're right, the knowledge and the training you have received in Bond will give you the ability to meet the problem head on. And with confidence, with self-confidence, which is very important, you can win. I hark back to my own experience when my school, King's College, taught us self-reliance and self-confidence, as I explained before. That has been responsible for a lot of my success, and it can be for you guys as well. Bond, like my old school, does not only produce academics, but also you are well-rounded, well-educated, and of course you have been encouraged to take other activities and do other activities other than just your studies, which is going to be of immense benefit to you as you go on into the future. Now, I have been involved with many businesses in Australia and overseas, and suffered the kind of setbacks I'm sure that you guys are going to get at some point in time in the future. Now, I have encountered many setbacks, but there's one I'd like to share with you just to show you that there is a way around most of these problems. And I'll take you through how we actually did solve the problem. And in 1982, some colleagues and I were asked to rescue a textile company which was to be closed. It was the loss of 1,000 jobs. The company, which, as Tina said, was named National Textiles, was a success, and it became very profitable. And all was going well when disaster struck. At the time, there was a large tariff on imported textiles, which protected Australian companies like us from international producers. The Hawke government decided to remove that protection. And I was called to Canberra, where the Minister for Industry gave me a heads up as to what was to come. Now, we were a pure textile factory and company, and we were forced with the certainty of being extinct, and it therefore became an existential crisis. Now, what to do? We went away to think about it as calm as we could under the circumstances, and in our deliberations we asked ourselves, now, who would benefit from the removal of tariffs as proposed by the government? We decided against what all the others were doing, the other textile companies. They arranged for marches, they arranged for union strikes, and lobbied the government very hard to get them to try and change their mind. Well, we didn't think the government would change their mind, and of course they didn't. We believe the winners would be the garment manufacturers, who would now gain access, again because their raw materials were going to be considerably cheaper as a result of lowering the tariffs. These manufacturers all had excellent brand names and markets, and would not differentiate between imported and locally manufactured textiles, so their sales would not be affected. This led us to the decision to, as quickly as possible, buy up as many of those we could, which we did, while all the fire and brimstone by our competitors gave us the time to do it. As you heard before, in a short time we bought King G, Stubbies, form-fit bras, Speedo, jockey underwear, Polaco shirts, and many others. These became great investments, great aunts, and National Textiles, which we renamed Ninja Group, became one of the 20 largest companies listed on the exchange. It was a great result all round. Now the lesson, again, is stay calm and not panic when you're confronted with disaster. There is, in most cases, a solution available, but you really do have to get your facts right and then think your way through it. This example I've given you, of course, is a business one, but graduates, this kind of shock or setback can come in any part of the world. Or anyway, you must confront it, whichever it is. After all, you could lose your job, you could have a research grant that's actually taken away from you, and you have to respond. And you will almost certainly have to respond to some unforeseen issue, and you need to respond. When you do, remember what I've said, you must not panic, confront the issue, calmly think your way through it, and you will find a way to win. Just make sure, well, you never give up. Graduates, you have been beautifully educated here in Bond, and you should have the confidence and the ability to take on all those out there who will certainly try to beat you. But I'm sure that with self-belief, you'll go out there and you'll beat them all. You leave here with my very best wishes for successful careers and long lives. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you hear someone address you and you think about a way to summarise what that person has said. Sitting and listening to Basil, I have to say that all I could think about really was that the man himself summarises the lesson that he can give you. What an extraordinary story. What a wonderful, I mean, all of the things that you hear about, rising from difficult beginnings professionally, personally and professionally, going through, making a success at every turn. Humble is the word. He used the word humble himself, but the fact is, the first reaction I had when I met him originally was that here is a man of unbelievably quiet achievement. And you can hear that in the way he spoke to you. This was not a bombastic I am. This was trying to explain to you his life story and what he learnt from it. And what were some of the threads? I mean, if you have to pick up some threads, the ones that I picked up were that, firstly, resilience. And there's no doubt that his story, although he didn't tell you about all the trials that he had, was one of great resilience. I mean, being ill, starting out of Mumbai, going to school there, becoming ill, having to come to a new country like Australia instead of perhaps going back to the safety of the UK, and you've got to congratulate his parents, and I think we should all say thank you as Australians for the fact that his family chose to come here and then he took that on. But I thought that the best message I liked, because it doesn't always apply to me, is stay calm and don't panic. That's not a bad lesson, actually, because it's very easy to go into panic mode when something goes wrong, but to hear it in the context of the sorts of business challenges that he had is actually even beyond doing it personally. Stay calm and don't panic. There is always going to be a solution, and never, ever give up. Now, that you heard only part of the story. Tim was able to give you some of the other, because here is a man who's taken not only a personal and business journey, but a wonderful sporting journey, and importantly, a philanthropic one too, because he actually did talk to you about always undertaking other activities, because that actually is where you get the excitement and the joy and the benefit in your life, outside the very tough life you're going to have trying to climb that professional ladder. So I'd like you to join with me in thanking Basil Sellers, not only for the address he's given, but for the man that he is. Well, everyone, graduations are a very exciting day for the graduates and their families, but must I say at the start, they're not perhaps quite as exciting for some of the younger members of the audience. So if you have young children here, please do not feel that you need to take them outside. We would all love to hear them, see them run around if they want to, hear them call out and say things. It's really important for everyone. They've come here to be part of the celebration. And from our perspective, as far as we're concerned, they're future Bondies, and we're very happy to have them speak out at any time and enjoy their time here so that we get them back as soon as possible. So don't feel that you need to take them anywhere. But now let me just turn for a second to Bond. You know, I've only been Chancellor now for a reasonably short time, but the one thing I've really learned is that Bond is an unbelievably special place. Everywhere I go, and in various activities that I have, I'm so proud to be the Chancellor, but what is interesting is the minute that I meet someone who tells me that they're a Bondie, there is an instant smile and an instant rapport, and there's a joy in the face of every Bondie that I meet. I mean, this is an experience that I don't think exists in other universities. Now, a lot of that is due to the academic staff and the general staff here at the university, who I know have taught you to the highest standard, but nurtured you personally as well. And I'm sure that you've appreciated that all the way through, because for Bond, it's not just a question of giving you an academic education. You have to have that. I mean, you're qualifying your professional degrees, you need that piece of paper. But what you get here, I think, is something so much more. So I'd like to congratulate the parents too, who've chosen to support you through here. It's not easy. For many people, there are sacrifices involved in choosing to send their loved ones here. I've sat where you are. Our daughter, we have a daughter who came through Bond, and we're very proud Bond parents, and we know what it means to her to have come through this university. But I've also sat here during a graduation ceremony, and there's always been that moment of just want to make sure that my kid walks across that platform before someone says, "Not that one." You know, that closing off moment is a really important one for every one of us, I think, just to see that achievement take place. And I know that for each of you, your family members are here supporting you. They've supported you all the way through. And the wonderful thing is they will continue to support you into the future. And that is something really very special. So I say thank you to the families, parents, grandparents, supporters, partners, children. And really, we welcome you all to the Bond family. But to the graduands, let me just say, the other thing about Bond, I think, is the wonderful ability to form a cohort, so that you take that, you've made friendships here, I know, and you'll get it from all over, and you'll get a chance to take that forward all the way through, and you should make sure you work out the best ways to keep that going. Through the alumni network, of course, is one way, but personally, of course, and don't let that go, because it's very easy to get caught up in something and lose that contact. But don't lose that contact with us either. We want you to come back to Bond. We want you to come back for homecoming. We want you to keep in touch with us. We'd love to see you, as many of you will be staying on perhaps as students again in postgraduate work. But for those of you who are going out into the world, please keep in touch, come back, don't forget us, let us know what you're doing. And in turn, if for those of you who take advantage of the Bond network and have mentors and supporters from Bond University out in the wider world, when it's your turn, please don't forget to do the same for the other ones that are coming through. But you know something, you've been together, you've laughed and cried together. I'm sure none of you have been at Don's or Lakeside together ever, because you've all been far too busy in the library. But but that part of it, the lifelong learning part, as Basil said, doesn't go, but the fun part stays. But being Chancellor requires me to undertake some formal tasks, and this is a formal occasion after all. But the most enjoyable of those tasks is formally to admit the graduands to their degrees and to transform them from graduands to graduates of the university. And I look forward to the presentation of each individual graduand, which will shortly follow. But before that happens, I call on the Chair of the Academic Senate to present the candidates for degrees.
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduands who are in attendance today for admission to awards of Bond University. From the Bond Business School, 113 graduands, and from the Faculty of Law, 89 graduands. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit to their awards those candidates listed in the graduation program who are unable to be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now relax. That is the moment of graduation. Please join with me in congratulating the most recent graduates of Bond University. We will now move to the formal presentation of the testamers.
Chancellor, the following candidate is presented for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with the thesis title, The Contestation Between and Coexistence of Agricultural Land Protection and Coal Seam Gas Activities in Queensland, Australia, Madeline Elizabeth Taylor. Chancellor, the following candidate is presented for the degree of Doctor of Legal Science Research with the thesis title, Consumer IoT, Where Everything Collides, Promoting Consumer Internet of Things Protection in Australia, Kathleen Matthews Hunt. Chancellor, I present graduates from the Bond Business School. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they've been conferred with their degrees. For the Diploma of Business, Blake Angus. Fabrizio Ferruzzi. Jarjun Pan. For the Bachelor of Actuarial Science, Darcy Boltons. James Christie. Samuel Collins. Optin Fahadi Fard. Matthew Ho. Ryan Smith. Zach Walters. Corey Woodhart. For the Bachelor of Actuarial Science Honours with second class honours, Luke Thomas Strickland. Mark Wallace. Amanda Yee. For the Bachelor of Actuarial Science Honours with first class honours, Thomas Aspinall. James Todd. For the Bachelor of Business, Jordan Brown. Patrick Buchholz. Stuart Terence Carl. Ishen Chai. Si Mun Chen. Nadia Chothia. Tristan Cortez. Nan Han. Lachlan Heron. James Bowman Hindle. Junki Hori. Lenny Jing. Nicolette Marie Johansson. Chun Hei Kwok. Clarice Lafleur. Rajwin Singh. Henrik Nordenborg. Sophia Norton. Navdeep Pasricha. Kate Reynolds. Elle Stevens. Josephine Volmery. Lucienne Jane Watson. Yu Shen Wong. Alistair Hall. Kate Claire Hall. Angus Parker. For the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of International Relations, Isabella Werby. For the Bachelor of Commerce, Adam Yusuf bin Abdul Aziz. Kaya Jade Burke. Cameron Stewart Giles. Ahmad Latif Gundru. Kurt Hall. Jordan Allen Harmsworth. Stephen Heiner. Fatini Joanna Mamalis. Jaden James Metropolis. Daniel Ovstabo Nedrabo. Jack Robert Pierce. Luke Schultz. Jian Hao Tan. Yi Dong Chen. Chen Chen Zhou. For the Bachelor of International Hotel and Tourism Management, Paige Minnis. Dae-hee Wu. For the Master of Business, Nicholas Harold Hefke. For the Master of Business Marketing, Charlotte Hurd. For the Master of Business Professional, Amagavasha Muralidhara. Kailash Rajendran. For the Master of Business Professional Marketing, Johann Vincent Lidner. For the Master of Business Administration, Gangadharan Damodaran. Linda Jane Kerwood. Daniela Ricketts. Mandy Saranar. Johanna Stedman. Aaron Ravel. For the Master of Business Administration Professional, Javanka Chu. Maiko Chu. Carlos Palacios Kusianovic. Nikhil Kumar Patel. Li Zhang. For the Master of Business Administration and Master of Finance, Scott Morrison. For the Master of Business Administration and Master of Project Management, Alessandra Allo. For the Master of Finance, Jack Geddes. Carlos Silva Jr. Harrison Hume. Tennyson Ling Stuckey. Luke Thomas. For the Master of Financial Management, Apaporn Limani. Caroline Musa. Isabella Sinclair. For the Master of Financial Management Professional, Ekaterina Ijova. Young Ne Jun. The university is proud of its long association with Business Breakthrough University. Together we teach a Master of Business Administration program tailored to meet the needs of Japanese business. Dr. Kenichi Omae will present graduates from the Bond University BBT Global Leadership MBA.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following 42 graduates in the Bond University BBT Global Leadership MBA. Of these 42, 21 are present today here, flowing from not only from Japan, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Kazuhiro Atsuta. Koichi Fukase. Ryoko Inoue. Akihiro Kawamura. Yasuhiro Kawane. Yuri Kishimoto. Tetsuya Kusumoto. Miho Machida. Toru Muramatsu. Arisa Nakamine. Nahoko Nakamura. Kenji Namura. Kazufumi Ohashi. Katsuhiro Okamoto. Yuka Sasaki. Kenji Shiotsuka. 綾子白井、高幸富成、美智子つぶく、ちか続き、ゆう山崎、The following 21 are not here, but they are watching on the satellite broadcasting in Japan. Hiro Asaba, Shigeki Fuji, Tomoya Hamada, Mayuko Hashi, Emiko Hishinuma, Junko Ihara, Shinya Iimura, Yoshikazu Iwaki, Kentaro Iwamoto, Yu Iwata, Yasutomo Kawamoto, Takumi Koyama, Yoshiaki Mori, Reiko Nishikiori, Junichi Sakamoto, Masaya Sato, Hitomi Seta, Hikaru Suwa, Akihiko Tanaka, Hiroyuki Tomita, Wataru Yoshimura.
Chancellor, I present a graduate from the Bond Business School for the Bachelor of Actuarial Science and recipient of the 2017 Stephen Johnson Memorial Medal, Nikki Cornwall. Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Law. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they've been conferred with their degree. For the Diploma of Legal Studies, Elizabeth White. For the Bachelor of Business Law, Adele Gale Ranger. Alexandra Stepanovic. For the Bachelor of Jurisprudence, Sandra Ann White. For the Bachelor of Laws, Sam Bishop. Sarah Bogdanovich. Hannah Cairns. Reuben Scher. Alice Chung. Camille Madeline Ellis. Alexandra Evans. Jessica Forrest. Danielle Gore. Augustus Charles Heisler. Paris Isabella Lightfoot. Martika Palmer. Christian Daniel Peters. Cara Raquel Lucky Smythe. Jessie Wooderson. For the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Business, Cassandra Bianca Venizio. Georgia Inwood. Alexander John. Brianna Phelan. Vertika Batra. For the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Commerce, Erin Jean Beard. David Gerard Bracken. Charles Lachlan Lindemann Cap. Brad Thomas Kavanagh. Matthew James Keat. Alexandra Louise Marlborough. Craig Vanderhoven. For the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Communication, Claudia Louise McChrystal. Alexandra Brooke Plumtree. For the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of International Relations, Calvin Scott Galloway. Teresa Yarson. For the Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Psychological Science, Samantha Dutchkey. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division B, Christopher James Abraham. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division B and Bachelor of Arts, Alexandria Danielle Listro. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division B and Bachelor of Commerce, Miller Ivanova. John Ryan. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division A and Bachelor of Business, Michaela Zado. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division A and Bachelor of Commerce, Samuel Cross. Nicholas Ireland. Clooney Jane McPherson. Ryan Nash. For the Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours Division A and Bachelor of International Relations, Holly Alana Rain Edwards. For the Bachelor of Laws with Honours Class 1, Crystal Cunningham Foran. Amir Jahanmiri. For the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours and Bachelor of Arts, Thea Sophie Phillip. Lara Soleil Petersdottir Svensson. For the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours and Bachelor of Commerce, Faye Emmanuel Panlilio. Tobias Benjamin Speck. For the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours and Bachelor of International Relations, Holly Sargent. For the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours and Bachelor of Psychological Science, Katrina Elise Ukma. For the Graduate Diploma in Legal Practice, Sarah Victoria Bovink. Jeffrey James Bourne. Milad Jirailu. Sapphire Parsons. For the Juris Doctor, Joe Brown. Alicia Chiesa. Shalon Hunt. Shabitha Ignatius. Lee Jung-ok. Danielle MacDonald. Duncan John McDougall. Alan Moore. Toshiro Mori. Hamir Singh Rendawa. Anya Salahirad. Grace Chandani Sharma. Julia Yanan Ju. For the Juris Doctor with Distinction Class 2, Natalie Ann Clark. Kiara David. Jonathan Nissa. Albelina Caroli. Tyler Smith. Yanan Sway. Jasiganth Vamadevan. For the Juris Doctor with Distinction Class 1, Salvin Singh Dot. Blake Anthony Thomas. Damien Michael Yates. Victoria Zavitz. For the Juris Doctor with First Class Honours, Sasha Ann Greeny. For the Master of Laws, Corporate and Commercial Law and Practice, Zakai Tommy Jabo. For the Master of Laws, Dispute Resolution, Hashanthi Senanayaka. For the Master of Laws, International Business and Finance Law, Natalia Malasheva. Chancellor, our valedictorian has been selected to give the valedictory address on behalf of the graduating cohort this morning. He's graduating with the Bachelor of Actuarial Science and Bachelor of Laws and graduates with a cumulative grade point average of 3.7 out of a possible 4 and a cumulative percentage average of 87. He has been on the Vice-Chancellor's list for academic excellence each semester and was awarded the UE Prize for Best Student in Financial Mathematics. Our valedictorian is graduating with a Bachelor of Laws with first-class honours and Bachelor of Actuarial Science, and is also the recipient of the 2017 John F. Kearney Gold Medal. Lachlan Francis Hopwood.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of staff, special and distinguished guests, and of course, fellow graduates. It's an odd thing to know so many very different people in the one room. I flew in from Sydney last night, got a double-decker train out to the airport, which takes some getting used to. And as the plane taxied to the terminal on the coast, I started to think to myself that in all likelihood, I'll be spending a lot of time with people quite similar to myself from now on. It's fairly easy to surround yourself with people that think and act in the same way that you do. We did it at school, we do it at work, and it's a fairly comfortable way to be. In a new city, I'll probably make friends at sports clubs, in the office, and through mutual friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as I look out at the mosaic of varied perspectives and experiences in the room today, I can see that at Bond, that's not the way it's been. Like all university graduations, we have budding actuaries, financiers, lawyers, civil servants, and more. Unlike other university graduations, however, we leave here with friendships that transcend those labels. Our unified cohort incorporates humanitarians, sports people and musicians, readers, drinkers and thinkers. All different, but at all times socialising and collaborating rather than just coexisting. It truly is an honour to bid farewell to our time on campus today. Today is a day of joy and celebration, but not an ending. We now depart campus or move on to an advanced stage of our studies. However, this institution has imbued us with an insatiable desire to better ourselves and our surroundings, a strong yet measured sense of aspiration, and membership of a community of alumni willing to go above and beyond to help each other. Most importantly, we've been given a seat at the table. I don't know where your table is, and you might not yet either. Maybe it's in a boardroom, maybe it's in a community legal centre, department in Canberra, or underneath a Bloomberg terminal. You've crafted your own seat at the table through your hard work at Bond, under the sage guidance of the wonderful people behind me and to my right. A seat is an opportunity, a place in a community of people capable of implementing that which you have devised but not yet acted upon. It's up to you how you wish to use the opportunity that your seat affords you, what you want to say at your table. With all of this before us, how can we honestly say that graduation isn't ending at all? But to stand here and preach about the future would not do justice to your achievements that are being recognised today or the institution that facilitated them. We learned a great deal of things at Bond. We learned some the hard way. Accountability is hard but inescapable. Toil is necessary but insufficient. Rigour is taxing but invaluable. We learned a few other lessons with a little less effort. Humidity makes ironing optional. You can cook a steak wonderfully on a sandwich toaster, and if you can pick the right one, you can find a perfectly potable Shiraz for $6.50. But Bond University is worth a great deal more than the accumulated value of what we've learned here. To my mind, its significance can only be quantified by the summation of the effort each and every one of its staff members put in to giving us the best education available in Australia. Bond's academics value student outcomes at parity with, or more significantly, than their research output. The Student Business Centre and IT teams genuinely care for the students, and it shows in recent efforts to streamline student systems. The Careers Office bends over backwards to help us transition from study to work, and Bond Sport provides us with immaculate facilities and the support necessary to keep our clubs going. As today's visitors will have noticed, the cleaning and maintenance staff here don't miss a beat. The librarians are on hand at all hours of the day and night to offer advice and a smile, and the Vice-Chancellor knows students' names walking around campus. On behalf of the student body, to each and every person that has contributed towards making Bond University what it is today, thank you. There's one particular staff member I'd like to thank who isn't here today. If you've ever seen a Bond Law graduation ceremony, you'll know who I'm talking about, because he invariably sits just over my left shoulder, offering a warm smile and generous applause to every student that crosses the stage. Jim Corkery has been at Bond since day dot, and he epitomises the special relationship that students here have with the academic staff. I first met Jim when I did flash dance before him in a blue leotard and tights for a law review video. Of course, Jim volunteered to help out and submit himself to that spectacle, because that's what Jim does. Jim's had a rough time of it lately, which is why he's not here today. But Jim, from all of us, thank you, and we're thinking of you. Now, we've all accrued a great many debts in our time at Bond. Our loved ones and mentors extended us credit facilities of unquestioning assistance, compassion and kindness, secured only by their love, our gratitude and a mutual desire for shared successes. I'd personally like to thank my loved ones, the 40 wonderful lecturers that I've had in my 4 years at Bond, and Mr. Peter Marshall, who wrote on my Year 8 Semester 2 report in 2009, "Whilst I am told that Lachlan has considerable ability, he certainly has not shown it this year, just cruising along and doing enough to get by. He has resisted my encouragement to do himself justice, and I am disappointed that he did not push himself hard at any stage." It's his opinion. But sometimes we do need that. So on behalf of the graduating students, to everyone here today that has helped us to get to where we are, thank you. I'll now end with a confession. While we have all earned a seat at a table, I'm not quite sure which table I'll end up at. But from what I've seen you all achieve and what I know this university has given us all, I both hope and expect to see some of you there waiting for me when I do arrive. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard from one of our graduates today, Mr. Lachlan Hopwood. After that oration, Lockie, ladies and gentlemen, you can certainly understand why he was chosen. His academic record, you heard earlier, was absolutely outstanding, but you can see that he thinks deeply, he cares deeply, and he will go far. Lockie, you and I have got to know each other along those 4.5 years now, and it's been a great pleasure to get to know you. We've shared conversations, discussions and debates about all sorts of things, like I have with several graduates in the audience as well. Our love of football, our debates around politics, religion, and indeed just life makes this a special place. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please thank Lachlan for such a magnificent valedictory address. So we're almost at the end, but we have traditions in academe, and these traditions do sometimes set us apart, like dressing up every now and then in these fancy clothes. But we also have a tradition here at Bond which is called the charge to the graduates. So will the graduates please be upstanding? So I will now read a charge to our latest graduating cohort. This charge is read at every graduation and has been read at every graduation since the university's establishment. And at the end of that charge, I will then ask the class as to whether or not I have their acceptance. I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply your learnings and education to the benefit of society, to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours with excellence always your aim, and to forever support and enhance the reputation of your university through engagement as proud alumni. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes. I was hoping for something a little more enthusiastic. So let's try again. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes. That's better. Thank you. You may now be seated. So I will not add too much more to the outstanding messages you have already received. Can I again thank and indeed honour Dr. Basil Sellers for his occasional address. As I have just done, Mr. Lachlan Hopwood in giving the valedictory address is a magnificent way to end. But can I just echo the message of thanks that pervades this audience here today? So while there are many people in the audience who are family members, friends, supporters, emotional supporters, financial supporters, let's face it, coming to Bond is not cheap. So for all those people that have supported you here today, I'm sure you'll take a moment, graduates, to thank them in person. But there's probably, for every one of you, a number of people who have been associated with your journey here who are not able to be present today in person. So please take a moment, contact them, let them know that you are actually thinking of them, let them know that you are forever in their gratitude and their debt for what they have done for you. They will be extraordinarily proud of your achievements, so please take a moment and don't do it by Facebook. They want to hear your voice. You know that thing called a telephone? You can actually speak to people through it, you don't have to text. Can I also, on behalf of the graduating class, thank all of the faculty members and the support staff that have made and enriched your time here at Bond and made it such a wonderful journey. And just remember that when you exit these doors here, your reputation is now inextricably linked with this university's reputation. And despite the magnificence of the surrounds, when we walk out, we look at the sandstone and the grounds and the magnificent water that surrounds us, we are nothing without people. And our reputation is forged by the reputation of our graduates. And those of you that follow the media will have noticed of late that reputations can easily be lost. Poor decisions, misjudgments, I think they're called nowadays. Times when you lose your moral compass. Times when you forget what is ethical. At those moments, please don't think just of yourselves. Please think about the impact that your decisions will have on those around you. And from a personal perspective, of course, please think about the impact that that will have on this university and the 30,000 graduates who carry proudly the name of this university with them. I wish you much luck when those times come, because they will inevitably come. They come to everyone at some point in time, both personal and professional. So when they do come, take strength in the knowledge that you have been equipped with the skill set, I trust the right ethics, values and standards to enable you to make the right decision. With that, graduates, my personal congratulations. And to those in the audience here, you've been extraordinarily patient over a fairly long ceremony. So here is now really your time and opportunity to make a bit of noise for the graduating class from Bond University.